What is going on YouTube? All right, I am very excited today to show you guys the most recent addition to my collection. But before I get started, I wanted to give a special shout out to my man Bill, aka Hall of Fame Collector, because if it was not for him, I wouldn't even know that this item existed. Now you'll see in front of you the famous image, the American National Game of Baseball. Grand match for the championship at the Elysian Fields, Hoboken, New Jersey. Now, what is widely considered to be the first game of baseball ever played under the rules of baseball as we know them today took place June 19th, 1846 on the Elysian Fields. The team that is credited with creating the rules of baseball were the New York Knickerbockers, led by Alexander Joy Cartwright, who was in the Hall of Fame as the father of baseball. Now, the signature that I happen to have is from one of the original members of the New York Knickerbockers. He was one of the 9 players that took the field that afternoon, June 19th, 1846, to play in the first ever baseball game. And I'm going to show you guys that signature, and I'm going to talk about it a little bit with you. So that gentleman was Walter T Avery. So you see that this is a ledger page. Now, Walter Avery had a very extensive library and kept these ledgers, that document, the books in his library. Now, this book was part of a Robert Edwards auction. It's one of the biggest auction houses, for sports memorabilia there is. Now, this book apparently had 59 pages. Every single one of these 59 pages had at the top of W.T. Avery, and you see that this is page 30. And it's got the values, and it's got the names of these different books. You see this one date, November 1876. This one up here looks like it says 1875, and there is more writing on the back as well. Which this is pretty cool because this is more than just a signature. All this is all his handwriting. Old steel fountain pen. Now you see at the top catalog of books. So like I said, there are 59 of these pages. And like I said, my man Bill, who's a Hall of Fame collector, has one of these pages in his collection as well. And you could see at the top, original New York Knickerbocker, Walter T Avery, authentic auto. So let me explain, just talk about a little bit about Walter Avery, as much as I happen to know about him. So he was born in 1814, died in 1904 at the age of 90. He played with the Knickerbockers for a few years, and like the rest of the team and a lot of people during that time period, he traveled west during the big gold rush. Unfortunately, like most people, that didn't really work out, didn't really get rich off finding any gold. So he actually ended up starting a corporation that was kind of like a grocery firm, groceries and food products and things like that. Stayed out there for a while, and he ended up actually coming back to New York and became a member of the New York Historical Society, which is really cool because I'm so into history. And like I said, he had a very extensive library, which is the reason that these ledger pages came to exist. So from what I know, the person who won this auction apparently sent these pages off to, have them slabbed and authenticated, and now they are on the market. Now, I actually got a pretty good deal on this because I've been looking at these for a while, and right now on eBay, there's actually a couple of them. There's a couple of these book ledger pages from 2 separate sellers. Now, there's really no book value for something like this, but one of them is up, buy it now for $5.75. The other one is $5.99 or make best offer. So it kind of gave me a little, I guess, price line of what this might go for. So I kind of would look at those once in a while, and it just seemed like a little bit too much for me, especially after I did the research and found out that these are not that rare, considering, like I said, there are 59 of those pages floating around from just that one book. So recently, I had seen an auction come up on eBay with a starting bid of $100 for this page, and it was like a 6-day auction. And I'm like thinking, oh my God, if nobody else sees this, I might be able to get this thing for $100. That would be amazing. Well, a couple days go by. All of a sudden, there's one bidder. A couple days after that, there's 2 bidders. You know, before you know it, there's 4 of them. So now I'm like, okay, I definitely want this, but I'm definitely not going up to the 500 range because I might as well have bought one of the other ones. So long story short, I put the bid in with about 20 seconds left, and I ended up getting this for $220, which I was elated. I was so happy that, because I wanted this signature, because I live in New York. I'm a huge, I've lived here my whole life. Big fan of New York, big Yankee fan and everything. And if you want to talk about New York baseball history, the Knickerbocker started it. So you really can't go further back than, a Walter Avery signature, unless I all of a sudden started making a lot more money and I could afford an Alexander Cartwright signature. But that's not happening anytime soon. But in any event, so I'm so happy that I didn't spend the big bucks on one of the other ones and that I got this for $220. I love this signature. The historical significance is amazing, just thinking about the fact that this man played in the first ever baseball game. Back in 1846 just astounds me, and the fact that I have his signature and his handwriting front and back, I'm just in love with this piece, to say the least. And for any of you YouTubers out there who are truly into vintage and vintage signatures, if you can get a hold of one of these, because like I said, they are out there. Like I said, there's a couple up right now. If you can get a hold of one of these, I would definitely do it, because like I said, it's really cool owning a piece that's this old. So all right, YouTube, I really, really, truly hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I said, I am in love with this piece. One more time, I'd like to thank Bill, who had shown one of these pages in one of his collection videos. And I remember looking at that, watching that. I believe I actually commented on that I couldn't believe that he had that piece. And that's when I started looking for one myself. So like I said, Bill, hope you get to watch this video, and thank you very much, because I wouldn't even know this existed if it wasn't for you, brother. So everybody, I truly hope you enjoyed this video. And as always, I will see you guys next time.